All right, I think I'm live now. So, hello, beautiful people. For those of you who don't know me, who are new to my world, my name is Kaylin Rutkowski. I am a mentor of the deep feminine arts and energetics, a somatic practitioner, embodiment facilitator, modern day priestess, whatever it is that you want to call me, but I really specialize in the feminine, in the resurrection of the feminine codes on this planet. And I wanted to pop on really quickly just to really give a name to and speak to the feminine descent. So, what I see happening in the spiritual space is this heavy emphasis on constantly ascending. We're always trying to leave the body, go to the higher realms, right? Go hang up in the ethers, whatever it is. And I'm not saying that this doesn't have a time and a place, because it does. And I think it's almost like a gateway into spirituality, right? So many of us find our spiritual awakening or the doors starting to open through meditation and kind of being in the inner planes and constantly trying to ascend and leave the body. And something that may be slightly controversial is that the feminine really is an embodied remembrance. Your feminine essence, your feminine power, your gifts, your essence, your soul codex can only be unlocked by journeying into the underworld, by dropping deep into your body, into your heart, into your womb. And so many women who are desiring to really tap into the full range and capacity of their feminine essence and feminine codes are really missing this piece. We constantly are looking outside of ourselves for validation, for confirmation, for information, right? We are in a society today that has access to information like this, right? And we're constantly consuming, right? Think about your day, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the music you listen to, the Instagram people you follow. Even right now, you're consuming information, right? And again, there's always nuance to this, right? Not to say that it's ever bad to educate yourself and wanting to learn and wanting to expand, but there comes a certain point where your need for constantly consuming more and seeking something outside of yourself is really disconnecting you from your power and from your oracular channel. And as a woman who has a womb, as a feminine essence being, this is really your greatest gift and your greatest power. It is what makes you woman, right? It is your ability to be the bridge between realms, to be a vessel for the divine, to be a pillar of light. And we do this through our oracular channel and awakening our oracular wisdom, right? And the realm that I really play in and guide my women through is awakening this channel, awakening your soul artistry, awakening these unique set of codes and templates that are unlocked in the body, that have been preordained since before birth. Okay, so it's not something you have to go learn. It's not something outside of yourself, but a deep embodied remembrance of who you are and who you are destined to be and to become. And this beautiful inverse reaction happens that actually the deeper you journey into your body, into the underworld, right, into the womb of the cosmic mother itself, you actually anchor in and ascend and anchor in more of these lights, more of these codes, more of this wisdom and these streams of consciousness that you get to share with the collective. And what I see happening right now is women only scratching the surface of their potential, of their power, of their expression, because they're so afraid to journey into the darkness. They're so afraid to journey into the underworld. They're so afraid to be in the unknown, to be in the mystery, which really is the foundation of the feminine. We highlight the light-bearing aspects of the feminine so much, and it's honestly what's really applauded or accepted in our society, right? The lover, the light of us, the part of us that is nurturing, that is the creatrix. But what about the other side of the feminine that is straight chaos, that is destruction, that is madness, that is mystery itself? So many times women fear to really go deep into these waters and deep into themselves because it isn't known. And because it isn't known to your current identity, to your ego, to your body, it sends off these signals that it isn't safe, that it's bad, right? There's also this big kind of buzz going around that, the dark feminine is evil. And that's not true at all. She is transmutation. She is transformation. She is rebirth. She is your power, right? She's the part of you that says, this is who I am and this is what I stand for. She's the part of you that says, hey, a boundary has been crossed and I'm not going to tolerate that. She's the part of you that knows you the best, that sees you, that honors you, and wants you to be the most you that you can possibly be. Not who you were conditioned to believe, not this facade that you put on to be liked, to be accepted by society, but the true core of your feminine essence, of your power, and of your expression. And for so many centuries, this part of women have been demonized. It's been repressed. It's been suppressed because, since the burning times and, the witch hunts, we learned that it wasn't safe for us as women to be powerful. It wasn't safe for us to be in our gifts. It wasn't safe for us to be expressed, right? So what did we learn to do? We took on this identity of the good girl, of the people pleaser, where essentially we began to hide in plain sight. We hid our gifts. We hid our unique expression. We dimmed our voice. We did everything to make ourselves smaller and more digestible to the masses because this meant safety. And we're at this pivotal time in humanity where this no longer is going to fly with the feminine. If you're here, if you're listening to this live, I'm sure that right now you're seeing this massive resurrection and revival of the feminine on the planet. And not this like fluffy light, pick me, love me, light side of the feminine, but a return and a complete recalibration to the deep feminine, right? To the part of her that is destructive, to the part of her that's dark, to the part of her that is mysterious, to the part of her that is fucking powerful, okay? And women right now are hearing the call. We're waking up, and I feel like it's my job as a feminine mentor to hold space for women, a safe space for women where they can really journey into the darkness to reclaim their light, to meet themselves, to explore themselves, to push their edges, and really embody and reclaim those unique set of codes, that essence that you had since birth, that you came here to be and to do on this planet. And you do this by dropping back into the body. We cannot even begin to reclaim the feminine without first reclaiming our body, right? So much about attuning to our feminine power is reattuning ourselves to the subtle. It's resensitizing ourselves. Look at today's society. It's energy drinks, it's coffees, it's drugs, it's, everything to do more, to be faster, to just constantly be on all the time, that we're so desensitized to our oracular channel. That channel that is the power that makes you woman, right? And as we begin to reclaim our bodies and resensitize ourselves to the subtle, we reclaim our feminine power. And when I'm talking about our feminine power, I'm not talking about this esoteric, airy-fairy principle. It is your birthright as a woman. You are a powerful fucking creator. You are a powerful fucking being. You are the only thing that acts as a bridge between realms. You are the only thing that is a vessel for creation, for the divine. Your body is literally a spiritual vessel of technology where you get to stream these codes, these streams of consciousness, right? These new ideas to birth and to create in the world. As a woman, men knew, right? And I don't want to say all men because I'm not calling all men out. We do have some beautiful, like, divine kings on the planet, but hear me out for a minute. When we had the rise of the patriarchy, and the biggest thing that they were after was to disempower women, because they knew that women were intrinsically powerful, right? Like, it was a power that was undeniable because we were deeply connected to our bodies, we were deeply connected to the earth, and we were deeply connected to God. So they decided to demonize, to shame, to repress, and try to just wipe out all of those connections that we had that made us powerful, right? That's why the witches were hung. That's why the midwives were essentially hung for being witches, right? Anyone who practiced holistic medicine, who was close to the earth, who, had this inner sight, this inner knowing, that scared the fuck out of the patriarchy, because a woman that was that deeply connected to God, to Gaia, to her own intuition, to her body, was a woman that could not be manipulated and controlled. So there goes the eternal warfare on feminine power in this just heavy, how do I even want to put it? Just attack on the feminine for centuries that has really disconnected us from our channel, from our power, from our truth, from our voice, from the part of us that makes us unique and different. I'm all about women having equal rights and being equal to men, but in the same breath, I feel nuanced about it because we're not the same. All this time that women are trying to produce like men and be like men and, whatever, mirror a men's 24-hour cycle, you literally disconnect yourself from that unique rhythm and current that makes you feminine, right? We have these innate gifts, this innate wisdom, our own embodiment that we're here to bring that a man could never fucking do in a million years. Love you guys, but it's true. And there's a reason why they're trying to condition us to move like men, to think like men, to be like men, when really what is being called for as we resurrect the feminine on the planet, as we return to our bodies, as we return to our truth, as we return to our power, is reattuning ourselves with the cyclical nature that is the feminine. And this is so connected to the feminine descent. And I'm going to tie it in a beautiful bow for you here in a second. So when we talk about really recalibrating and reattuning ourselves to the feminine, what we are really doing is beginning to reattune ourselves with the cyclical nature of nature, with the cyclicalness of nature. That's what I meant to say. And if you look at nature, nothing is constant, right? The trees don't bloom all year. The flowers aren't bloomed all year. The grass isn't always green. There's a rhythm, right? There's a pulse. There's a season for everything. And women are no different. Even if you look at our cycles, okay? We move and operate on a 28-day cycle where our emotions change, our, connection to spirit changes, the ability of life force that we have access to changes, where a man resets every 24 hours. So no fucking shit that we're not meant to operate in this consistent linear path that society tells us we need to do or we're not successful, right? The feminine has a rhythm. It has a pulse. There is life, there is death, right? There is the void, and then there is creation again. And it's beginning to get into these cycles of life that you really begin to unlock the deepest feminine wisdom and power that you have access to. And a side caveat, there isn't this one size fits all cookie cutter approach to the feminine, right? The way that the feminine moves through me and expresses through me is 100% unique to me. I am one of one. You could never be like me and I could never be like you. And that is literally the point, right? But when you actually allow yourself to surrender to these cycles and to the rhythm of life, you begin to unlock your own feminine current. You begin to unlock your own feminine essence in the way that she is desiring to move, to birth, and to create through you. But what I see happening is that the feminine constantly wants to be in this life-giving state, right? Where we're constantly creating, and we're in the spring and we're in the summer and everything is light and beautiful and things are going how we think they should go, right? But what happens to a feminine leader when she resists being empty, when she resists the fall, when she resists the winter, is that she resists herself. She resists her power, right? She resists what God is actually trying to birth to her and through her, because she won't allow herself to be emptied. And hear me out. There is a huge fucking difference on feeling empty and God emptying you, right? And this is the feminine descent. When you, how do I want to put this? When you allow yourself to go into a complete darkness, into a stage of complete obliteration with your job, with your finances, maybe it's relationship, maybe it's things you used to like to do, maybe it's a complete identity death, where who you believed yourself to be and what you thought you were here to do completely just gets the rug ripped out under your feet. And if you're an advanced soul like me, you like to take on multiples of these at the same time, because why not? Let's make it fun. I'm just kidding. I highly don't recommend that. But my point is, there is magic in the mystery. There's a beauty when you travel into the unknown, when you're brave enough to face the darkness, when you face the void and the unknown head on and head first, because you know that at the end of the day that God is guiding you there. That season of darkness, of void, of just complete obliteration was preordained for your becoming. Because when everything gets stripped away and you're in the mystery, when you're in the womb of the cosmic mother, when it's just pure liminality, then everything is possible. The chaos is the breeding grounds of transformation, of creation. And this is when you begin to let go of all the ego, all the attachment, all the expectations, and you allow yourself just to be emptied, to receive, to be on your hands and knees with God and surrender to his plan, to her plan. Trusting that God knows better than you know. And what happens when you let go of being in survival and just trying to get by and just trying to get enough, and you open yourself up for divinity to move to you and through you. When you open yourself up to move from the state of survival to sovereignty, where you really begin to tap into your power as a creator. When you descend from the head down into the body and you begin unlocking those unique codes and templates and wisdoms that are deep in the blood and the bones and in your just soul codex, right? It's here, it's in the womb, it's here, it's in the heart. There's nothing outside of yourself that you need to fulfill your soul destiny on this planet. You came here perfectly equipped to do, to be, to have, to create everything that God had intended for you. But it's first stripping away and unveiling and unfurling back into your most authentic version of self. Who you were before the world told you who you had to be. And this is where soul artistry is truly born and curated. And why I'm preaching on this and why I care so deeply about this is because for the last year and a half, y'all, I have been in one of the deepest voids and transformations of my life, of my existence. And there's nothing more important to me now than soul artistry. There's nothing more important to me than resurrecting and revival of the divine feminine, of the deep feminine, of the sacred feminine, right? Not this love, airy-fairy, light feminine that's pushed down our throats. I'm talking about the deep embodied remembrance of the feminine, our connection to our bodies, to our sexuality, to our sensuality, to earth, to God, to goddess. And I know now, after a year in the void, that this is what I'm here to do. And a year and a half ago, I would have told you it was something completely different. I was trying to be a business coach. I was trying to be an embodiment, just all facilitator, you know, coaching about money and all the things that didn't light my soul on fire. And that's the beauty about when you go into the void and you allow yourself to be purified, is that the fire, the flames of this space are purifying as fuck, and you meet yourself and you meet your edges and you meet your depth for the first time. And when I met my deep feminine, when I met my muse, she was pissed the fuck off. I'm serious. She was pissed the fuck off for all the times that I shut her down, for all the times that I told her she wasn't good enough and I needed to be like this person and do what this person was doing and da 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 da. Right? There's a coming home that happens. There's an oracular remembrance. It's like this oracular osmosis that happens when you begin to connect with your womb, with your heart, with your pussy, right? It's a remembrance, an activation, a transmission that you can't read in a book. It's an unfurling back home to yourself. Do any of you feel me on this who are here? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not about somebody else teaching you about the feminine or teaching you about how to run your unique set of energetic mechanics. It's about unveiling to your truth, to your power, to your codes, that unique emanation and radiance that you're here to share with the planet. That's what I stand for. I'm not here for the women who want to sleepwalk through life. I'm not here for the women who want to play it safe and just kind of skirt around the edges. I'm here for the revolutionary women, for the deep women, for the feminine leaders, for the mystics, for the rebels who are here to be, to do something fucking epic and different and unique on this planet. And that happens through the feminine descent. That happens when you're brave enough to be emptied, to journey into the void, to connect back with your body, with your womb, where you come home to self-source safety, where you know your safety is this inner pulse, right? It's this rhythm, it's this current, it's the Shakti, it's that fire that nothing can take away from you. Not a job, not a money, not a relationship, not a title, not friends, nothing. You find your fire. Right? You find that reason that gives you something to fucking live for. This is the feminine descent. And this is my invitation for all of you. I am holding a week immersion for free for women who have been in this complete state of obliteration, who find themselves in the void, who are resisting being emptied, who are scared to go deeper. I want to be your guide. I want to walk you through this. I'm not going to give you all the answers because you have all the answers in yourself. But I will be a light to walk beside you and remind you of your power, of your strength. I'll give you tools and resources to help you integrate your feminine, to meet your dark feminine, to meet your wild, just erotic part of you that's clawing, wanting to come out. I'm here for you for that. So what I'm going to do is for a week, I'm going to invite you guys to become completely immersed in my world, where I will go deep on a transmission. Kind of, this is just like a little taste of what we'll be covering in the feminine descent transmission. And then I'm thinking I'll have one part somatic work in that hour or 2 hour transmission. And then for a week after the transmission, I'm going to open up a coaching container where you get to use me as a guide, as a mentor, where I will walk you through your obstacles, your shadows, your blocks, to really help you explore your depths, to push your edges, and to really meet your own feminine power, to find your feminine pulse, to find that deep feminine core inside of your womb, inside of your body that is desiring to be expressed, that is wanting to be reclaimed. So if you are a woman who is ready to go deep, who isn't afraid of the mystery, who isn't afraid of the darkness, and who's really truly ready to meet yourself and embody the full range and capacity of what it means to be feminine, I would love to have you in the feminine descent. So leave me a comment below. I will send you the link, and I hope that this message serves you. I hope that it activated something deep within you, in your womb, maybe your own oracular remembrance. And if you're wanting to go deeper, if any part of you is feeling called to this, a curiosity, a nudge, a pulling, I invite you to say yes. Have that be your first initiation with the feminine. Love you.